The 2026 Seattle Mariners are built for another postseason return because their identity is anchored in elite pitching, late inning dominance, and star level production from multiple positions. Few teams can match Seattle's combination of high strikeout starters, a lockdown closer, and impact bats capable of carrying an offense through cold streaks. With hopeful continued development from position players and locking down a first baseman for the years to come, this roster has the depth, balance, and upside to compete deep into October. Now, while the Mariners' pitching staff and outfield core are playoff caliber, the infield remains the roster's most fragile area. Injuries, streaky offense, and limited power at multiple infield spots create lineup volatility. In a playoff environment where every at-bat matters, strengthening the infield prior to the season would reduce offensive pressure on the outfield and the catcher position while stabilizing run production across the lineup. Now let's get started with their starting rotation. Logan Gilbert, in 2025, had a decent 2.1 WAR, 3.44 ERA, 11 Ks per 9, has an elite strikeout rate, excellent whip, and is a dependable top-of-the-rotation presence who limits traffic. And he is also of the same alumni that I am. Brian Wu, a breakout star with elite run prevention, exceptional whip, and frontline efficiency across heavy innings. Did have a 4.2 WAR and 2.94 ERA in 2025. Expect him to be great again. George Kirby, one of baseball's best command pitchers. High strikeout potential with his continued upside. Did just have a .8 WAR, 4.21 ERA in 2025, however. Luis Castillo, a veteran ace with durability, strong command, and postseason-ready composure, had a 3.54 ERA in 180.2 innings pitched in 2025. Bryce Miller, a power arm with swing and miss stuff. His upside remains despite uneven results. Did run into a negative .8 WAR and 5.68 ERA in 2025. Expect a bounce back for Miller in 2026. On to the bullpen. Gabe Spear, pitcher with elite whip and strikeout rate. He's a shutdown left-handed specialist, likely the best left-handed reliever, non-closer in all of baseball. Matt Brash, elite strikeout stuff, dominant when he's healthy and locked in. Had a 1.0 WAR, 2.47 ERA in 2025. Expect him to be great again. Eduard Bizardo had a 1.8 WAR, 2.52 ERAs in 73 games. It's a high leverage, reliable reliever. Had an excellent whip and consistently prevents runs. Recent addition, Jose Ferrer, is a durable left-hander, effective matchup option for lefties. Had a .1 WAR, 4.48 ERA, and 72 games pitched for the Nationals in 2025. Casey Legumina had a negative .9 WAR, struggled with a 5.62 ERA, but is a strikeout-capable pitcher despite his inconsistency. Had 10 Ks per 9 in 2025. Carlos Vargas, versatile bullpen arm with situational usefulness. Had a 3.97 ERA. Doesn't strike too many batters out. Had a 6.3 Ks per 9 in and a negative .1 WAR. Jackson Kowar. He's a serviceable middle relief arm with control and versatility. Had a 4.24 ERA and a .1 WAR in 2025 last year. Andres Munoz, a closer, true elite closing, overpowering velocity, strikeout dominance, calm under pressure. Had a 1.73 ERA, 2.4 WAR as a closer. Absolutely phenomenal. Expect that again in 2026. On to the lineup. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. Wow, did he have a great 2025. A 7.4 WAR, 60 home runs for a catcher, the most all time in a season, single season, 125 RBIs, even had 14 stolen bases. He's a franchise cornerstone. Elite power, durability, and a middle of the order force for the next years to come. And presently, backup catcher, Andrew Knizner. He's a reliable backup with solid game calling experience, but these Mariners should add 2 more catchers for organizational depth here between AAA and the majors. Expect Knizner to be up and down throughout the year. That first base addition for the long term, Josh Naylor. He's a middle of the order run producer, hits for average, solid power. It's not too quick, but very aggressive, smart base runner. Did have 30 stolen bases. In 2025, 92 RBIs and a 3.1 WAR. Expect him to be very good for the next 5 years. Cole Young. He's a developing young back with long-term upside, despite his early struggles. Had 4 home runs and 223 at-bats, .5 WAR. Will they be adding a possible starting second baseman? Will they remain with the 22-year-old in his 2026 season? Ben Williamson, a defensive first infielder. Minimal power, only had 1 home run and 277 at-bats in 2025. Did get sent down to the minors in late July. Presently, probably should be the starting third baseman, but they need to add another bat here to contend in October. Leo Rivas could be contending with either second base or third base at this present moment. He's got some speed, defensive flexibility, had a .8 WAR and 90 at-bats, 2 home runs, 6 stolen bases. Potential to play all over the field. Starting shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Steady defense, leadership, good on-base, reliable player. Had 3.8 WAR in 2025. Did hit 12 home runs and 570 at-bats. Expect him to be solid once again. Randy Arozarena, postseason tested start. It's got power, speed, and a competitive edge. Had a 4.0 WAR, 27 home runs, 31 steals, and 613 at-bats. Expect him to be another asset on this roster here in 2026. Rob Refsnyder, recently signed. He's an elite platoon bat against lefties. Elite. Had a 1.2 WAR, 9 home runs, and 181 at-bats. Might get a few at-bats against righties. Should be a platoon guy, however. Expect him to produce this year. Julio Rodriguez, the franchise superstar for the years to come. 5-tool talent, leadership, durability, you name it, he's got it. Had 32 home runs, 30 stolen bases, 6.8 WAR in 2025, and that's with him struggling every single year to start the first half of the year. Imagine if he puts a whole year together, he's going to average 40 to 45 home runs. Let's see if he can do that in 2026. Victor Robles, he's got speed, defense, situational value, 6 stolen bases and 106 at-bats, negative .2 WAR. More than likely, he'll be a defensive replacement come postseason time. Should help this roster. Dominic Canzoni had a 1.6 WAR, 11 home runs, and 32 RBIs in 243 at-bats. Had an 840 OPS. Had a great year in 2025. Efficient hitter, strong average, pop. Should be in this lineup. Luke Raley struggled this past year at 202, just 4 home runs and 183 at-bats, negative .3 WAR. He's got some left-handed power. Should also be probably in a platoon for this team. He's got some positional flexibility, can play in the end as a first baseman, outfielder. Will be a value to this roster and 26-man team. Now, on to the remainder of the 40-man. Logan Evans, a developing starter, solid command, brings depth value to the team. Had a 4.32 ERA, negative .1 WAR. Had a rough 6.5 Ks per 9, but should make some spot starts as needed this year, along with Emerson Hancock. He's got some solid control. Pitch mix, capable of being a back-end rotation starter. Could be long reliever. He's going to be a guy, an asset for this team. Ryan Bliss, injured the majority of 2025 season, only had 35 at-bats in the majors. He's got some speed, contact ability, solid defender. Should help this roster once healthy. Miles Mastrobuoni, versatile defender. He's got some speed, bench value. Had a .2 WAR and 152 at-bats. Good depth piece for this roster. Jonathan Diaz, left-handed depth arm. Could be useful in a spot start, bullpen piece. Only made one appearance in 2025. Expect more in 2026. With them only having 2 very good lefties on this in the bullpen. Samad Taylor, bit of a power speed threat. Had 17 home runs, 86 RBIs, 44 stolen bases in AAA. Can he wind up doing that in the majors? Only had 8 at-bats in 2025. Should help this roster on occasion, barring any injuries this year. Blas Castano made his first appearance in 2025 for the Mariners. More than likely would be 8th or 9th man in the starting rotation, so might just be called up for bullpen appearances. Pretty good arm. Only made that one appearance, so expect him to occasionally fill in for this lineup. Rylan Thomas also just had 8 at-bats, just like Samad Taylor in the majors. Had 35 stolen bases and 547 at-bats, 7 home runs. Hit 325 in AAA. It's good contact, speed, good production in AAA. He's going to get a shot here this year. Alex Hoppe. Bit unproven. Throws smoke, a little over 98 miles per hour. Good organizational depth with potential coming from the Red Sox, but hasn't made the majors just yet. Ryan Lourdes, a depth option. His results have lagged behind his stuff. Has a poor 10.67 career ERA in 15 games thus far. Should still get a possible option here in 2026 to help the team out. Troy Taylor has a poor 5.88 ERA in 29 career appearances thus far, but a solid 9.3 Ks per 9. Still developing consistency, so once he gets that figured out, he could be a consistent member of this bullpen. Cole Wilcox appeared in one Major League game for the Tampa Bay Rays in 2025. Former starter adapting to becoming a reliever. Solid depth piece with a solid fastball at the 97 mile per hour mark. Domingo Gonzalez. He's a developmental arm, possible future bullpen. Hasn't made the majors just yet. Struggled slightly in the majors between the Braves and Mariners this past year, but could get an option here in 2026. And Robinson Ortiz, another lefty. He's a project. Future bullpen candidate who hasn't appeared in the majors yet. Could get a chance with very seldom few lefties on this lineup, in this roster, though, however. All right, so this Mariners organization does have 9 other prospects in the top 125 prospects, though you should only expect 1 or 2 of them max to appear in 2026. Will these Mariners be shopping for a major midseason trade pickup? I think they'll want to and should to ensure being a front runner come October. So expect some of these top prospects to no longer be in the organization come midseason. Be prepared. Now, as the 40-man roster currently stands, this lineup has 2 superstars, 2 all-stars, and a fair share of borderline MLB pros. But if the Mariners add 1 or 2 more reliable infield contributors and the starting rotation remains healthy, this roster has the makeup of a deep playoff contender with the elite rotation, dominant closer, superstars throughout. These Seattle Mariners have the tools not only to return to October, but make a legitimate run once they get there. Be excited, Mariners fans. This is your best chance to hold the Commissioner's Trophy since 2001. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and look out for more videos to come shortly. Thanks, everybody.